we can always meet and talk about some random stuff, okay?
Yes.
And the random stuff is for me not just random, because
I see what you did there.
Yes.
for me randomness is something really important.
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
That's what
okay.
makes it
So you can
exciting.
see my screen I'm sharing right now.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Got it?
Okay. So random stuff, it's not just random, it's we create it with our hardware and software for achieving some special effects. And normally what I do is I collect some information and I put it on a paper, and I wanted to share with you some of my approach. And this is more or less a creative approach of collecting information. And it's like making a mind map, for example. And sometimes when you collect this kind of mind maps, and you create these mind maps, you can make it with paper on the cardboard or something like this. And with time, an image is crystallizing. So maybe with time you can recognize something deeper. And the really interesting thing is that randomness is not just something that we people, human being, use for cryptography, for example, but it's also our brain that uses it. So we can see John Eccles made some research, and he wrote the book How the Self Controls Its Brain. And the self is the spirit. The spirit controls the randomness inside the brain. And when one comes aware of this aspect of reality, that randomness is not just something that is can be somehow useful, but it's an inherent aspect of reality. It's a deeper aspect of reality. So the eyes opens, and when one can recognize a lot more in nature. For example, we have inside electrical circuits a phenomena that is called quantum tunneling, and we know this from white noise, from the radio, for example. And white noise, we say, okay, it creates some black and white pattern on the screen. If we want to plot it on the screen, it has no recognizable patterns, but we know from our radionic analysis that it at some point it creates a pattern, but because of the self which controls the randomness. Okay, so, and yesterday I talked with Davo. He told me then whenever he was in meditation and in some kind of altered state of mind, he was able to be successful with wishing. So this is a special state of the mind, but not just a special state of the mind. It's special for us people who live in a world that is a lot of stress. We have a lot of information overload. And Marius, you already mentioned that we don't need faster internet, for example. Yeah, and this is what the world tries to achieve. They want to overload people with information. And there is this article about brain electrical activity and altered state, and there is this Ganzfeld and hypnagogic states. And if you know what Ganzfeld means, I don't know if you know this word, Ganzfeld.
Please describe.
Yeah, Ganzfeld is using some kind of white noise in the earphones and flickering of lights, and this brings the brain into a state of altered state, like it's in induction of meditation. So if someone is not used to meditation, with this electronic help, it's easier to achieve this state. Yeah.
Is that like also the sensory deprivation tanks can also increase that state?
Yes, you're right. The sensory deprivation tank is the cream of the cream of of this kind of technology. It's the best of the best. If you want to, if you have the place and the money, this is the best hardware you can buy. Yeah. So, but I wanted to talk about this woman, Marie-Louise from France. She was a co-worker of Carl Gustav Jung, and she said a very, very interesting phrase in her book. This book is on divination and synchronicity, the psychology of meaningful chance. This is it's a small book, but one of the most interesting books I've ever read. And Marius, you said that sometimes you need some time between one chapter and the next, or maybe if when you watch a video on some special topic, you need some time to digest it and until you get some aha effect.
Yes.
And this book is exactly like this. If you begin to read, you need to digest it, to make a pause about 1 or 2 months, and then continue to read, because in the meantime your worldview adjusts to it. It needs some time to understand the deeper meaning. Yeah.
Yeah, information kind of like reveals itself, of the reflection and integration.
Yes. And she said something really interesting. She said, probably we dream all the time, not only in the night, but also in the daytime. And this remembered me of something that, it's called the dream time. And the dream time, what the Aborigines call the dream time, is connected to the ley lines or cross lines or gates, and on each this crosses or gates of these ley lines, churches reside, especially in the West, in Europe and other countries. You will see churches, and if you visit a church, even if you're not religious, but if you just visit a church just for the sake of understanding the atmosphere in the church, you will feel that there is something really special in the church.
Also, when they hit the bell, the bell is usually on a ley line, and because they're hitting the bell, you sort of like alter that frequency. And furthermore, if also people sing, then they amplify that whole room on that ley line. It's as if energy gets amplified, so everybody has a mystical experience.
Oh, this is
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Oh, this is a good information. Thank you. Thank you very much, Marius. So, okay, because this is like, we use electronic signals to agitate the alloptic or chi energy inside the radionic device, and these people use the entire church as a device. Yeah. So the bell is something like this. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so I wrote this this phrase just quickly. I see patterns in the radionic analysis of the ether 1 pi, patterns in the random generated list of rates. Are they really random? And sometimes I have this feeling, am I dreaming? Because the result is too good to be true. Yeah.
Yes, I confirm.
So, and this is an outtake of Wikipedia, where they use the Ganzfeld, and they say this guy who made some research, Honerton focused on what he thought was the connection between ESP and REIMS, and began exposing his research subjects to the same sort of sensory deprivation that is used for in the demonstration of the Ganzfeld effect. Yeah? So, and it's related to psi and all kind of parapsychology. And if you make some research in this field, you will see there is a pattern. And Marie-Louise, this is a photo of one of the pages. She said, the medium needs an abassement du niveau mental. Also, this is I understand it because I understand Italian. I don't understand French because this is French, and it means the mental level needs to be lowered. So, but not mental in the sense of being stupid, but in the sense of the logic level of the mind. It needs to be lowered, and has to go into a trance, a sleep-like state, to pull up his or her knowledge. And this kind of knowledge doesn't come just from the mind, from the personal mind. I have myself observed that in states of extreme fatigue, when I'm really dangerously physically exhausted, I suddenly get absolute knowledge. And I have made this experience too a few times. I don't know if you have made this kind of experience, maybe, because this is more or less common that we have this kind of experience. In extreme situations, we have some kind of knowledge. And she said, she wrote, I am much closer to it then, but as soon as I have slept well for a few nights, then this wonderful gift is gone again. Why? Absolute knowledge is like a candle light, so a little light. And if the electric light of ego consciousness is burning, then one cannot see the candle light. And if one looks at a chaotic pattern, one gets befuddled, one cannot make head nor tail of it, and then one gets this insight again. So chaotic patterns are required for the medium to get into a state of trance or some kind of sleep-like state, but it's like dreaming, but during the daytime. So we have this kind of connection just by using random stuff. So
and then,
yes.
And then there is something about the dots and the card of Rorschach.
Rorschach.
Yeah, that's interesting. If one looks for a moment at the Rorschach card with its accumulation of dots that blots out the functioning of the in the text you have if you have showed us a moment ago. Just when you finished, if you can continue reading, not this one.
This one.
Yeah. There is like, if one looks at for a moment at the Rorschach card.
Rorschach, yeah.
Apparently, I don't know about anything about it, but it seems like there's a card with lots of.
Yeah, it says
dots.
that this kind of cards with the accumulation of dots if I go back here with the white noise, it's an accumulation of dots, randomness, that bloats out the functioning of the conscious mind, and then an unconscious fantasy comes up.
That's interesting.
This is the interface, to the collective subconsciousness. Yeah.
It's kind of like if you look at clouds as well. Some people say that cloud looks like a giraffe, but then it looks for me like a snake.
Yeah.
Same cloud, different interpretation.
Yes.
Based on experience.
Yeah, this is a good introduction to this guy. He is a pseudo-skeptic, or he was a pseudo-skeptic. I say pseudo because this kind of people who are not really true skeptics, because a true skeptic is just an inquirer, someone who says, this cannot be true, I need to inquire. But he said it's not true, and therefore I will not inquire. And therefore I say he was a pseudo-skeptic, and he ignored the science consciously, and he said this is all bullshit. So this is typical for a pseudo-skeptic. They use the word bullshit. If you talk with someone about radionics and they use the word bullshit, you can just stop talking to them. They will not accept any kind of fact or of proof. This is important. You could lose a lot of time with this kind of people.
And energy.
And energy, yeah, energy, which you could invest in some better things. And we have here the normal. This is the reality of every day, the wake consciousness, and we have here something that is a delta between the how can you say the dream time and the wake time, and you have special powers if you go to the left to the dream time. And Wolfgang Pauli, he was some real skeptic. He said, let's see if it's real. And when he came into a laboratory, all the experiments stopped working because of his special way how his mind worked. He was such a man. His thinking was so deep into the physical structure of reality that physical structure actually stopped working in the laboratories, and so he was thrown out of the laboratories. There was a sign, Wolfgang Pauli is not allowed to come in here. So
shouldn't a skeptic be neutral?
Please?
Shouldn't a skeptic be neutral instead of negatively leaning towards the subject?
Yes, true. A good scientist does not just say it's bullshit. It's a small word, and you can say it very fast.
No, but what I mean, you said that this guy up on the top, what's his name?
Wolfgang Pauli.
Wolfgang. You said he was a skeptic, but it seems like he was a skeptic, but when he was in the laboratory, nothing was working. If he would be truly neutral and curious, and he would be like, let's see if it's real, he would be neutral, and I think he wouldn't affect these
influence the equipment. Yeah, you're right.
Experiments. But it seems like he was negatively.
No. Maybe I used the wrong words.
Okay.
He questions physical reality, and while questioning physical reality, the physical experiments stopped working. It's like
okay.
It's like like using psi for stopping the boiling water to boil, and the water will not boil. And this is normally what happens on quantum level. It's easy to achieve on quantum level, but not on the normal macroscopic level. So, but Wolfgang Pauli was able to do this effect, and his the effect was called Pauli effect. Pauli effect. If you Google it, you will find a lot of interesting information about the Pauli effect. Yeah.
So definitely he was not neutral.
He was not a pseudo-skeptic. He was
Just a skeptic, but
he was a very positive kind of skeptic. He was the right type of skeptic man, and Carl Gustav Jung was more kind of a dreamer. He loved to dream. He loved to look at dreams, and during his waking life, the dream and the waking life, they interconnected, and they how do you call this when two cycles
Intertwine?
intertwine? Yeah.
intersection.
I think.
Yeah. This is what happened to Carl Gustav Jung all the time. This is one of the reasons, because Goran and we talked about getting rid of the rates and just using cold scan, and maybe going deeper, using more intuitive approaches. You remember, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Yes.
This is going to the left side, so to the left side of the being more creative, being more in touch with the dream time. So why put I here this Turkish mother? Because I knew a Turkish mother, so and she was exactly like her. And this is like a meme. This is typical for they say they can smell or they can feel that you have done something wrong, so their children, they get hit by their shoe from 3 miles away, and they have no way to avoid it because they already know. And there are people who are not famous. They are not scientists or explorers, but they are just on this left side, and they are able to understand. If you have done something wrong, they will hit you with the shoe.
Freud should be smacked with such a shoe from 3 miles away. He would stop being pseudo-skeptic, I think.
So, and if my mother was exactly like her. My mother is Italian, so but when she was alive, she could feel that I've done something wrong. So when I came home, she already got her shoe in her hand, and she was just watching at me, and I was forced to admit what I've done wrong.
So what you're saying, she felt before you came, or she saw you, then you emit some energy that show her that you did something? Right?
No, she was already at the door. She was already at the door waiting for me, already with the shoe in the hand. She already knew I did something wrong. We talked about this kind of ability. She always said to me, I have ringing in my ears.
Oh.
And after I reached 40 years, I got this kind of ringing too. So I get this kind of ringing when I post something on Patreon or on my blog post or some video, and people begin to talk about it. Then my ears are ringing.
Interesting.
It's
ringing, like
tinnitus.
Like tinnitus, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So can you focus it on something that you want to like scan so you can hear this ring and you're waiting for the
Yeah, sometimes during radionic
Mhm.
sessions,
Mhm.
you can trigger that people talk about you.
Mhm.
It's not on purpose, but if you analyze someone who knows you, and they also have friends that know you, and then they begin to talk with each other about you. This is
Mhm.
the effect, and the ringing uh, lasts as long as people. Um, it's like, you know this guy, so, because sometimes people told me they have talked about me. It's like
Mhm.
they start to talk about it, and then the energy goes low. They at some point the topic is not interesting anymore, and then the ringing stops.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I chime in there? So if you hear that ringing in your ear and you start if you start yawning and you're engaging with another person, whether it's in front of you or over the internet,
Mm-hmm.
that could be a psychic attack.
Interesting.
Yawning.
Yes.
I
Yawning is
Wow.
a way for your body to release energy.
Okay, interesting.
Amazing. It happens to me often.
It's
Connected.
and Goran, in Croatia, you have this saying about when someone sneezes.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. When someone's sneezing, they always think, okay, who is talking to about me?
They say this. I thought it's about someone who when someone talks the truth. They say
Oh, yes, 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 yes. No, it's hiccup. It's hiccup. The
hic.
sneezing is right. Hiccup is somebody's talking about, somebody's mentoring me. But sneezing, you're right. It's true. When
Yeah,
somebody says about something and then somebody in this area is sneezing
yeah,
of them, in this room,
yeah.
and I said, oh, yeah, you see, it's true. It's proof.
What do they say? They say a special word for this.
No, they say it's true.
But
So it's proof. It's true. I don't know the word.
what is the Croatian word for truth?
Istina.
Istina. Yeah, they say
Yes.
istina.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Istina.
My colleague in the work, he said always istina, because
Oh,
we are talking about something. We found a bug in the software, and then he said I was sneezing because in exactly that moment, and he said istina.
Istina. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
see, I was right. You're telling me I was right.
Yes, yes. But I
So
didn't know it's only in Croatia. I don't know if it's in other countries like this or not. I thought it's a mutual in everywhere.
I don't know, but the thing is, after he told me,
Mhm.
it's like I'm bound to it, to this effect, and whenever it's something that I found out it's true, but
But
not
it works.
it works. Yeah.
Yes, many times. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, even in my when I was a witness, many times,
Yeah.
most of
So
the times actually.
I draw fast another thing with the sniper. I don't know if I've already told this. It's when a sniper wants to kill someone, the trainer of the sniper, they tell these people, do not watch too focus on the person, because they will feel it that you want to kill
Wow,
them.
wow, I didn't know that.
So and
Mm.
this is the left side of the reality, the left side, where people begin to understand that there is this kind of reality, and the military, whoever is used to this kind of effect, they use also methods like dowsing for getting insight into the enemy territory. Yeah. And this is what